All right, welcome to Friday Flow. Good morning. My name is Ellen. I will be your instructor this morning. We are going to start seated. So find something comfortable. I'm going to actually grab a yoga block. Good morning. You can find a pillow as well. So something comfortable to start seated. So our class is just under an hour. We're here until about 9:20. So hopefully you can stay for the whole class this morning. And if you have to hop off early, no worries. So go ahead and just take a moment to close your eyes here, place your hands on your knees or on the floor, finding whatever comfortable seated position suits you this morning and sort of how you're feeling, how your body's feeling. And on our next inhale, we're going to shrug those shoulders up to our ears. And then exhale, we're going to let it go. This can be a loud, audible exhale. So inhale, shrug the shoulders up. And exhale, down. And we're going to cycle through that a couple times. Shrugging the shoulders all the way up to our ears. Exhale, release. Couple more times. So each time you do this, allowing your rib cage and chest to lift up a little bit higher so that you're sitting up a little bit taller and drawing those shoulders down and away from your ears. So 2 more times. One more big shoulder shrug. And release. Okay, you can open your eyes now or feel free to keep them closed. I'm going to go into a couple shoulder rolls here. So similar to the shrug, bringing them all the way up to your ears, you're going to squeeze and pull your shoulder blades back. Drop the arms down and around, and then just repeat this motion. Nice big shoulder rolls. Up and back. We'll do 2 more. And last one. And now we're going to interlace our hands in front of us. And take an inhale here. And as we exhale, I want you to push your hands away from you. Tuck your chin into your chest and sort of start to draw your navel in towards your spine. So really pushing those hands away, getting that upper back stretch here. Take 1 more breath. And then inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, release those arms. And we're going to do the opposite stretch and get the front side of our shoulders. So you're going to go ahead and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe interlacing those hands behind you. And if you can, just continuing to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to tilt your head up and back as you lift your chin. Drawing those hands down to the floor behind you. Taking a few breaths here, opening up through the chest and the shoulders. 1 more breath. And then go ahead and release. All right, so we'll do 1 more in our seated position. Just a side reach stretch. I always like doing stretches for our upper body, especially if we sit for most of our work day. And at the end of the week, it's nice to get into that shoulder and neck area. So we're going to go ahead and lift our right hand up. Take a nice big inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to place that opposite hand on the floor and just gently start to reach. You're going to take a couple of breaths here. So it doesn't have to be in just 1 breath. I want you to move through this stretch slowly, and with every inhale and exhale, starting to find a little more space in that side body. Taking your time, relaxing those shoulders down and away from your ears, keeping your chest open towards the front. A few more breaths, starting to ground and press that right hip into the floor. And reaching that right hand over. And now go ahead and sort of take your gaze down at the mat. So you're sort of rotating in as you inhale. And now exhale, take your gaze up towards your elbow and open up your chest a little bit towards the ceiling, towards the sky. So a little bit of a rotation here. One more breath. And then inhale, slowly come up. Just be mindful of your back, your spine. Exhale, just release. Ooh. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So now that left hand reaches up. Right hand just is placed on the mat. Take an inhale and exhale. Again, really slowly working into the stretch. Taking your time. So hold that stretch. Come up and check on you all. Remember, with every breath, finding a little more space in this side bend, pressing your left hip into the floor as you find a little more length, a little more space. Great. A few more breaths. Keep your chest towards the front. Great. Okay, we're gonna do one more here. So stay with me, stay in this position. On your next inhale, just take your gaze down towards the mat. And then on the exhale, you're gonna rotate up. Take your gaze up at your elbow, starting to open up through your chest and your shoulders, up towards the ceiling, the sky. And then inhale, slowly come all the way back up. And then exhale down. All right, let's go ahead and come off this block. So we're gonna come to a tabletop. We'll do a few stretches down here, just enough to get us warm, because then we're gonna come up to standing and do some stretches. But I wanna make sure that our legs and specifically our hamstrings are a little bit warmer before we come up to that standing pose. So tabletop, hands under those shoulders. Knees under those hips, and as we inhale, we drop the belly, we lift the chest. And exhale, we draw that chin into the chest, rounding the spine. A couple more times here in this cat-cow. Also taking some time to check in with yourself. How are you feeling this morning? Just sort of letting that sit there. Maybe thinking about what you want to accomplish in this workout, and maybe it's just to get a really good stretch, to feel a little bit better, feel a little more energized, and just keep that as your focus. Shift everything else off to the side. All right, let's bring those knees nice and wide, toes and feet together as we sit back into this nice, comfy child's pose. Every exhale, pressing those hips back a little bit deeper into your heels. Reaching those fingertips out towards the top of your mat. And then inhale to come on up. So here's where we start to build a little bit of heat. We're gonna find a downward facing dog here. So go ahead and tuck those toes. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, find that down dog. Pedal out those heels. Relaxing your head in this down dog, holding on to that for a couple breaths. An option here is lowering your knees or maybe doing this on your forearms. That also works. So a couple things to warm up our hamstrings a little bit more. We're gonna stay in this down dog. On your next inhale, lift your heels all the way up so you're on the balls of your feet. Exhale, press them down, bend the knees and shift your hips a little further back. Inhale, come up to your toes, lift the heels, we're doing it again. Exhale, press down, bend the knees, stitch your hips back. 2 more times, inhale, lift. Exhale, press back. 1 more time, inhale and exhale. Inhale, come forward to your nice high plank. So starting to feel those legs warm up just a little bit here. Exhale, lower your knees, lower your chest, gluing your arms in towards your rib cage. Elbows back, release your toes. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down and back, down dog. Let's do it again. Inhale forward to your nice high plank. Tuck those hips under just slightly. Exhale, knees and chest. Lower all in one, all together. Untuck those toes, flatten them. Inhale, lift, shoulders down, baby cobra. Exhale, retuck the toes, down and up. Hold your down dog. Let's do it one more time to get that heart rate up a little bit more. So inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Keeping that core nice and strong here. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, tuck the toes. Down dog and hold. Or of course, a child's pose. So take a few breaths in that down dog. Really try to press your chest towards your thighs. Lift those hips up a little bit higher. Let's try to breathe in and out through our nose to help strengthen our lungs and become a little more efficient with our breathing. One more breath. Inhale, you're gonna bend your knees. Exhale, start to walk those feet towards your hands. We're coming into a forward fold. Let's hang out here for just a couple breaths. Trying to get your hands to touch the floor, maybe just your fingertips, but relax your head completely in this forward fold. Press your feet into the floor. Inhale, lift those arms up so we come up to standing nice and slow. We bring our palms together. We take our gaze up. Exhale, our hands come down to heart center. Okay, so I'm gonna switch things up just a little bit. You're gonna come right to the center of your mat. And you wanna start actually with your feet just underneath your hips. So we're gonna continue warming up, and then we're gonna go into a couple sequences like we did last week and practice that balance pose. So feet right under those hips. We're gonna bend those knees. Inhale, reach those arms up, and then exhale down. So we're just gonna do this a couple of times. Inhale, reach those arms up to continue building heat. Exhale down throughout the body. Inhale, reach 2 more times. Exhale, push down and away, and then 1 more. Let's keep our arms up on this last one. Take your left hand, reach your right wrist, and go ahead and reach it and pull it across. Side stretch just like we did seated. So you can walk those feet out a little wider for a better base, but keep your knees nice and soft here. Inhale, exhale, maybe reach an inch further. And then inhale back to the center, and then exhale, let's switch. Go ahead and reach for that left wrist, and reach on over to the other side. Take an inhale here, exhale, maybe reach a little bit more, and then slowly come back up to the center, inhale, and then exhale. So we're gonna do that again, but this time with our feet together. All right, so we're gonna get a little bit more of a stretch. I want you to stack that rib cage, lift up, and I want you to think of zipping up a tight pair of pants here. So we're starting to engage our core a little bit. When we stretch, we don't wanna feel a pull, an uncomfortable or painful pull in our low back. So go ahead and lock in those core muscles. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, we're gonna reach for that right wrist and pull it over. So same thing here, but now with our feet together, you might find a little bit more of a stretch here. Imagine someone's sort of pushing into your hips and pushing you over, right? Press into your right foot. A little bit harder now. Take an inhale, exhale. Can you find another inch of room or length here? And then inhale, center, exhale. Let's just release and shake it out before we go to the other side. This one is a little more intense. Inhale, those arms come up. Exhale, you're gonna reach for that left wrist. And if you're having any shoulder or neck issues, feel free to bend your elbows here and maybe even just an arm across the body as you do a side bend feels better for you. Again, be mindful of your body. Listen to your body. If you're up here with me, press into that left foot. Find an inch more room here. One more breath, woof. And then inhale, center, and then exhale. Excellent. So now let's get those hamstrings. I haven't done this one in a really long time, but my friend reminded me of this. So we're gonna do this one. And if you have a pillow or a block or something that you can reach down, if you have trouble reaching to the floor, that would be helpful to use for this stretch. So let's just first start with those feet nice and wide. You're gonna place your hands on that left thigh. You're going to bend that left knee and shift your hips back. So almost like a side lunge or a lateral lunge, okay? So we're gonna do it 3 times. Inhale, come up, and exhale. But really want the motion to come from your hips. 2 more, inhale, and exhale. This time, place your hands on your hip bones, and then exhale. Your hands should be moving back, okay? Hold this here. You're gonna feel that stretch in that inner thigh. Hold it for a few more seconds. I just wanna show you from the side how this looks. Hips pushing back, right? Back is nice and flat. 1 more breath, and then slowly come up. Oof. So we're just sort of getting ready for this stretch that we're going to do. Okay, other side. Hands on that right knee. Sit back. So sort of half a squat, half a lunge. Inhale, come up. Exhale, push your hips back. Look down, make sure that knee is tracking right on top of that toe, right? You still want to see your toes and be able to wiggle them. You don't want all that weight on top of your toes, okay? 1 more time, this time hands on your hips. So you're feeling and pushing your hips back. Go ahead and find this right here. So you shouldn't feel your knee at all. It's all in your hips, feeling those glutes. Hold it for a few more breaths, feeling a big inner thigh stretch, and then slowly come back up. Great. Let's take our hands to prayer. Take a nice inhale here, and as we exhale, you're gonna shift both hips back without bending your knees, okay? So we're gonna come about halfway, okay? Flat back, about 90 degrees. I'm just gonna show you from the side, okay? Feel free to bend your knees a little bit if your hamstrings are so tight. Flat back here. Inhale, let's extend our arms out to the side. So we're making a letter T. Hold this here. Once you sort of rock forward and back here, just a tiny bit. And then take your hands to your hips. Stay here, nice and steady, inhale, and then exhale. Now we can gently fold forward. So either reaching for the floor, I'm reaching for my block. Wide-legged stance. Bring your feet out as wide as you can and keep a soft bend in your knee for those that have extra tight hamstrings this morning. And we're just gonna hang out here for a couple of breaths. So again, placing your hands on the floor, reaching for that block, reaching for a stack of pillows, whatever you have. And if this feels a little uncomfortable, then you are doing it right. Now, if you need a little bit more intensity, just simply walk your hands back behind you and reaching towards the back of your heels if you want a little more intensity in this stretch. All right, so we're gonna come out of it in just a couple seconds here. If you walked your hands back, bring them back to the center. We're gonna do that rock forward and back again. So just going on the balls of your feet and then back onto your heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes when you come back onto your heels. And just forward and back. Head is relaxed. Mine is not, because I'm just looking up at you all at the screen, but make sure to relax your head here. Forward and back, just 2 more times. We sit on these muscles all day, so this might feel uncomfortable. And then come back to the center. And then feel free to walk your feet in a little bit closer before we come up. Okay, let's take those hands back to our hips as we inhale, push into your heels, keep your flat back, slowly start to lift up, squeezing your shoulder blades together, nice and slow. And then gently just bring those legs together and shake it out. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna get moving. This would be a good time to grab a sip of water if you have it nearby. And we're gonna go through some standing poses, postures. We're gonna practice our warrior 3 balance again today. So hopefully getting into those hamstrings and warming them up a little bit first will be helpful. And helpful to have a wall or a dresser or a foam roller, something that you can use to help with balance. So if you have that, go ahead and grab it or get close to something. Let's start at the top of our mat. Okay, we're taking inhale. Exhale, we're gonna float it down. Inhale, we come halfway up, nice flat back, pulling those shoulder blades together, and then exhale, we lower. Let's step that right foot back. A warrior 1. Press that heel into the floor. It's a medium step back. Lift the chest, find your balance. Inhale, arms up, exhale, hold. So I'm also gonna go a little bit faster, even in this first initial round as well, because we've started to build that heat already and gotten this nice stretch. So inhale, let's straighten that leg. Exhale, those arms come down. We're gonna get ready for that triangle pose. So inhale, reach forward as your hips push back in that opposite direction. Exhale, take your hand to your knee, back hand comes to your hip. Inhale, we drop our shoulder towards the mat, just like we did in our seated stretch. And now we open up as we exhale. So there comes the twist. So you open up from your shoulder, from your torso, and you take your gaze up at the ceiling. When you're ready, extend that arm. Stacking your hand on top of your shoulder, bottom hand is close to that ankle. Remember, you're falling back into a wall here, or you're squished between 2 walls. That's your triangle pose feeling. One more breath. Inhale, push into that back foot. Woo. And exhale, let's cartwheel those hands down. Let's lower onto our right knee. Low lunge. Untuck that toe. Inhale, lift the chest, low lunge, arms up, exhale. Hold this right here. So we want to tuck our hips under just a little bit, just so we're not dumping all that weight into our low back. One more breath, and we're gonna have a little bit of a twist with our upper body. So inhale, take those arms down. Exhale, we're gonna extend that left arm. So whatever foot is in front, that same side, that arm is going to lift up. So for me, it's my left. Inhale, I'm gonna reach it down under my rib cage, a little twist, and then exhale, I bring it back up. 2 more times, inhale. Reach under, exhale, lift, 1 more. Inhale, and exhale. Hold this here. So we're gonna practice this as one of our layers. First, starting with our knee on the floor. 1 more breath. Inhale, bring that hand back down. Exhale, step back to down dog. Good. Inhale forward to your high plank. Exhale, knees and chest. We lower down. You can also take out the sequence completely. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. And maybe just come to a down dog or child's pose. So hold that for 2 more breaths. We'll move to the other side and do the same sequence. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, lift those arms up, nice and tall. Palms come together. Exhale. Let's go right into it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float it down. So everyone should be feeling warm at this point. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, really pulling those shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower. Step back with your left foot this time. Warrior 1. Find your balance. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hold. So find that warrior 2, front knee slightly bent, back leg is straight. You want to close up your rib cage here. Turn on those core muscles. And you can always pick up the speed or slow it down if you'd like. One more breath in triangle pose. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, those arms come down. Get ready for a triangle, and you can move up against the wall if you'd like. Inhale, reach forward as your hips go in the opposite direction. Exhale, lower that hand to your knee. Back hand comes to your hip. Inhale, we close it off. We rotate towards the mat, and now exhale, we open up. Adding that twist and rotation from your torso and shoulders. When you're ready to simply extend that top arm, stacking your wrist on top of your shoulder, bottom arm gets a little bit closer to meet that ankle. Hold it here, and if you're up against a wall, falling back into it, finding that really deep stretch. So 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. Last one. Inhale, push into that back foot, and exhale, come back up. Good. Inhale, cartwheel those hands down. Lower to that left knee, untuck the toe, low lunge. Lift your chest. Keep those core muscles engaged. Inhale up, exhale, hold. So eventually we'll do this without lowering our knee to the floor for that next challenge, okay? One more breath. Inhale, those hands come down on either side of your foot. You can also use a block here, okay? So this time it's our right arm that reaches up, whichever foot is in front, that same side. Inhale, reach down underneath the rib cage for a little twist. Exhale, take it back up. 2 more. Inhale, a little more of a twist. Exhale. Each time opening that arm and opening up that shoulder area a little bit more. Hold it here. Big reach. And maybe that hand comes to your hip instead of that full extension with the arm. Either way, you're twisting with your shoulder. And then inhale, take the hands down, back onto the floor. Good job. Exhale, step it back, down dog. Or a child's pose. Inhale forward to your plank. Maybe you're ready for a full chaturanga, where you don't lower your knees to the floor. For that extra challenge, inhale, you lift, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Great job. So we're gonna add on another layer for our second round. One more breath in your down dog or a child's pose. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Forward fold. Take a breath. Inhale, reach those arms up, palms come together. Exhale, we lower down. Okay, quick check-in. Everyone doing okay? Thumbs up, we're good? Okay, great. So we're gonna add on warrior 2 this time, which we all know, okay? Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll keep a similar speed. So again, feel free to speed it up or slow it down. Exhale, lower. Step back, right foot, warrior 1. Glue that heel into the floor. Lift your chest, use your core. Inhale up, exhale, hold. And then here also, maybe you're lowering to cactus arms. If you're being extra mindful of your neck and shoulders. Keep your hips facing forward, 1 more breath. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, arms come down. We're gonna go right into triangle without placing your hand first on our hip, okay? So remember your rotation, coming from your torso, not your hips. Inhale forward, hips push back. Exhale. Try to flow right into that triangle pose. Taking a few breaths. Hold it there. Imagine that I'm holding onto your wrist and pulling it back to open you up a little more. Perfect. Couple more breaths. Yes. Good, Diane. Beautiful. Nice, Betsy, with Kishwar, Mindy. Beautiful. Everyone smile in your triangle. Look up at the ceiling. 1 more breath. Inhale, push back. Slowly pull yourself up. Here's where we go into warrior 2. Open up from the hip first, and then find that warrior 2. So open that left hip, knee and ankle follow. Shoulders down. Front knee is really bent here, but if you look down, you can still see your toes. You can still wiggle your toes. Arms nice and strong. Adding on a peaceful warrior. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Take your gaze up at your hand while that back arm slides down the back of your leg. One more breath. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. So we're still gonna lower to our knee. Okay, this will be the last time. Lower down to that back knee. Untuck that toe. Inhale, reach that right or left arm up. This time we're just gonna hold it. Hold this right here. So if you're right-footed or your left foot's in front, reach that left hand. Hold it. Keep reaching. So maybe hand to your hip. I'm just showing from the other side. Twisting and reaching. Low lunge with that arm extension. One more breath. Inhale, take the hand down. Exhale, step it back. Down dog. Great job. Inhale, forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest, glue those elbows in. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog, or child's pose. So adding on warrior two, peaceful warrior on the other side. And I'm gonna face the other direction so you can see how I open up in that lunge and reach. All right, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump to the top of your mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms up. And exhale, come on down. Inhale, up, other side. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, halfway lift. Pulling those shoulder blades together. Exhale, down. This time we step our left foot back. Warrior one. Lift the chest, inhale. Arms come up. Exhale, hold. Warrior one. Remember, front knee is bent. Back leg is nice and straight. Hold it. Maybe coming into cactus arms. Shoulders down and away. From your ears, one more breath. And then inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, arms come out to the side. We're gonna get ready for triangle pose. I'm also showing you from the back side, so a little different. Inhale, reach forward as those hips go back. And then exhale, try to flow right into that triangle pose. Hold that right there. So I'm sort of falling right back into you. Imagine you're falling back into a wall. Squish between two walls. Perfect. Yes, good, Regina. Very good. Remember, shoulder opening. One more breath, looking up at that hand. Inhale, push into that back foot. And exhale, come on up. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, warrior two. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. Shoulders away from your ears. Warrior two, hips drop. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, peaceful warrior, take it back. Take your gaze up at your hand. Slide that back hand down your leg, keeping that leg straight. And then inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, here we go. Cartwheel your hands down. Lower onto that left knee. Inhale, press your left hand into the floor. As you exhale, extend that right arm up this time. So now I'm facing you, so you can see how I'm opening up in this lunge. Maybe hand comes to hip, right? Just like in triangle, and we're just simply opening from our shoulder. So you choose. This is a challenging twist here. Keep your hips low. One more breath. Good. Inhale, take that hand down. Exhale, step it back. Down dog. Great job. Inhale, forward to your plank. Exhale, lower. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Down and back. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. We've got 3 breaths here. And then we're going to add on our balance. One more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms up. Good deep breath. palms come together, and exhale. Okay, so now we're gonna practice that balance pose. So when we get there, you can always move away from your mat to the wall or to the dresser. But we're gonna be doing that balance pose, one leg, our warrior three. So feel free to use those props. They're gonna support and help you. When we do this, you want that back leg straight, and I wanna see a flexed foot, okay? Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float it down. Moving a tiny bit faster. Inhale, halfway lift. Keeping that flow going. Exhale. Right foot, warrior one. Inhale up. Exhale, hold. Just a few breaths. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, arms fall down. Triangle pose. Inhale, reach. Hips go in the opposite direction. Exhale. So now that we've been doing this a while, trying to flow into each movement. Nice and slow with some grace, making it look easy, right? Taking your gaze up at your hand, one more breath. Inhale, push into that leg. Exhale, up. Inhale, hands to prayer. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. We'll move into our balance after a peaceful warrior. So get nice and low first in that warrior two. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Peaceful warrior. Big side stretch, one more breath. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, hold. So we just have to rotate our hips towards our front leg. So take that back heel off the floor, rotate your hips. Back arm swoops down, reaches the front arm. Inhale, exhale, palms come together to heart center. We're sort of in a real high crescent lunge. Inhale, we're gonna lower our chest towards our thigh. Exhale, push off that back foot. And then go ahead and start your practice here of your balance. Lifting your back leg up. And it doesn't matter how high it gets, we're just here to practice our balance together, right? Keep your hands at your chest, just so we keep our back flat. That's the only reason I cue that. But if you have that wall, right, or a dresser, go ahead and use it. It really helps. For a few more breaths, let me see it. Remember, back leg super straight, nice. And think of pressing through that heel, right? Kicking that heel. Very good, yeah, beautiful. Remember, core muscles are still working here. I don't want you to feel that low back. Great. You all are doing great. Keep breathing, lifting up from the mat. 2 more breaths, you can do this. Lift up a little higher, 1 more. And then inhale, step that foot back into your lunge. Inhale up, exhale, hands come down. Here's that last layer. Extra challenge, you keep your knee off the floor. Inhale, press that right hand into the floor. Exhale, your left arm lifts. Okay, so remember the last 2 times we did this in a low lunge. So your extra challenge is staying in that high lunge, reaching that arm, maybe at your hip. Hold this, make sure your knee is on top of your toe and not coming out or in. Hold it for 2 more breaths. Drop those hips. I'm using my block to help. Last one, big stretch. Inhale, hand comes down. Exhale, take it back. Woo! Down dog or child's pose. Inhale forward to your high plank. Excellent job. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. Very good. So we added that lunge and twist, that extra layer of intensity at the end. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, come forward. Oh, inhale, bend your knees. Just kidding. Exhale, walk towards the mat or hop or jump, forward fold. We're almost done. Inhale, reach those arms up. Big deep breath. Palms come together. Exhale. Okay, same thing other side. Let's do it. Inhale up. Exhale, float it down. Let it go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Step that left foot back. Warrior two. Lift the chest. Arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe cactus. Hold right here. Remember, you're closing up your rib cage. Want you to really use those core muscles. One more breath. Inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, arms down. Maybe go up against the wall. Triangle. Inhale, reach. Exhale. So really slowly, nice little flow. So now that we've been practicing these movements, maybe focus on the smaller details of them. Hold it. Like very gracefully getting into that triangle pose and being able to hold it. Stacking that wrist right on top of your shoulder, taking your gaze up at your hand. One more breath. Inhale, push into that back foot. Exhale, release. Inhale, hands to prayer. Take them up and exhale. Here's that warrior two. Dropping those hips. Not for too long. I don't want to burn out our thighs because we're going to practice our balance on that leg. Look down at your front knee. Make sure it's stacking right on top of your toes and not going in or out. Flip that palm, inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Peaceful warrior. A lot of balance here. Keep those core muscles turned on. One more breath. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, hold. Inhale, lift that back heel off the floor. We just have to rotate our hips and that back arm. Bring it to the front. Inhale up. Palms come together. Exhale. Inhale, we lean forward with a flat back. Exhale, we push off that back foot and lift up for our balance. So holding there. Your balancing leg always slightly bent. And I want you to imagine lifting up and away from the mat. So not reaching for the floor, right? If anything, a couple of pillows stacked or a foam roller, but I don't want you to lean forward. That's more like a standing split. So keep yourself upright. Use the wall. I'm using the dresser here. Hold it for a few breaths. Let's see it. And if you fall out of it, just get back into it, right? We're all just here to practice. Beautiful. Tuck those hips under just a little bit, right? Engage that core, lift up a little bit higher. Bring that heel towards the ceiling. You all look beautiful. Last breath, a little higher. Lift that chest, and then inhale, step it back. Okay, here's that last layer. Exhale, hands come down. Press that hand into the floor. Exhale, extend that right arm up. Maybe you lower that knee, and maybe that hand comes to your hip, but you are twisting towards your front leg. This is our last layer. Couple more breaths. Can you do this without that knee on the floor? Hold it for 2 more breaths. Big twist. Drop those hips an inch more. And then inhale, hand comes down. Woo! Exhale. Great job. Down dog or child's pose. Last time we go through this floor sequence. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Elbows glued to your side. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Come on back. Everyone find a child's pose. And even here, your child's pose, you can use that pillow or block to rest your forehead. So if you can't quite get your forehead to the mat, you bring it to where it meets you. And you can do that by using a prop. Slowly walk those hands up. So for our hip stretch, we have 2 options. You can follow me and come into a pigeon pose. If that's a little uncomfortable on your knees or on your hips, you will do a figure 4 stretch on your back instead, because we're getting our hips and our glutes. So you'll start with that right leg up and over. This is going to be your figure 4. If you want to do pigeon, you can follow me. We'll come into down dog. Okay, we're going to lift that right leg off the floor as we inhale. Exhale, you're going to bend that knee and place that leg on the mat in between your hands. That bottom knee lowers to the floor. You untuck your toes. If your hips are really high, you can stick a pillow there. Lift your chest up. Inhale. A little more intensity. Exhale, lower to your forearms. And we're just going to hold here. So if you're in your figure 4, if you want a little more intensity, pull your legs in towards your chest. And I'm placing my block underneath my hips because they do not lay flat on the mat. So just a couple breaths here. It's a great stretch, but it can be a little uncomfortable on your kneecaps. So be mindful of that and choose the alternative. Every exhale, finding a little extra space. And then inhale, slowly come up to your hands. You're going to tuck that back toe, lift your knee off the floor. And as we exhale, we're going to use our upper body and core to lift back up to down dog. If you're in figure 4, extend your left leg up. You can find a hamstring stretch. And then take your ankle to your knee. If you're here with me, we're now going to lift our left leg off the floor. 3-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, bend that knee. Place your leg in between your hands. Drop that back knee, untuck your toe. Other side. Inhale, chest lifts up. You can stay here or exhale, lower to your forearms. If you're on your back, you can bring your legs closer into your chest. And then inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, you're just going to extend your legs out if you're on your back. Come into a quick down dog if you're in pigeon pose. And then slowly bring those knees onto the floor. So we will meet our friends that are already down on their back. Just going to slowly hug your knees into your chest. Rocking side to side, sort of massaging that low back. Into the floor, this should feel really good. Let's bring our feet to the floor. Knees bent, feet are about hip distance. We're going to slowly lift up into a bridge, pressing those feet into the floor. Inhale, let's lower back down. Exhale, we'll lift up for one more bridge. Just to get a little bit of an inversion here. We're going to hold on to it for a few breaths. So feel free to interlace your hands underneath and maybe roll your arms under. Or feel free to come into a full wheelbarrow, a full bridge on your hands. So just lifting those hips up, about 2 more breaths. And then very slowly unravel those arms, very gently lower your hips onto the floor, one vertebrae at a time. You can windshield wiper your legs here. Just for the last minute, just gonna have you close your eyes, find a comfortable, relaxing pose of your choice, just for a few moments. Just focus on your breathing here. Slowly start to move your head from side to side. And with your eyes still closed, go ahead and extend your legs straight out, arms overhead, making yourself a little bit longer here, taking a nice deep inhale and exhale, just let it go. Go ahead and start to open your eyes, bend your knees in, roll over to your side, gently press yourself up and find a comfortable seated position to end class in. And as we sit up nice and tall, we'll take one last breath together. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Exhale, we'll bring the palms together, lower them down to heart center. Closing your eyes for a moment and thanking yourself for making the time for you this beautiful Friday morning. And hopefully you continue to take time for yourself into this long weekend. Now we'll open our eyes and we'll say namaste to one another. And you all are done. Great job. Thank you so much for coming. Questions, comments, feedback, go ahead and type it into the chat box. As a reminder, no live classes on Monday for the holiday. So you can always check out on one of our recordings or CFW signature sessions if you really want to get your workout. And happy Valentine's Day. You all stole my heart. It's from the Dollar Tree. Isn't that great?